This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Skylight Theater for the world premiere of Forever House. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Tony Abetamarco, author of Forever House at the Skylight Theater.
If one of my viewers decide to come to the show, what can they expect to see?
Well, to begin with, it's a show about commitment, and it's a show about responsibility. And the unexpected part of making commitments to a relationship or to a piece of property, as in buying a house, is that you run with your enthusiasm and you're excited about the possibilities, but you never foresee what could possibly go wrong. And from day one, after the closing of the deed, everything goes wrong for these two guys. And so, and what they discover is that any unresolved issues that either existed in their relationship before or existed in their individual lives suddenly come roaring out of hiding. So they've got to deal with that. So in that respect, I think it's a universal story a lot of people can relate to, you know, the buying of a house and what it means.
Yeah. First of all, I really like this play. It was very deep. It showed a lot of the psyche of the individuals. Also showed political and social poignancy and all that. Now, I've seen a lot of plays about homosexual men and all that. Usually they're they don't want to offend anyone. It's like, well, let's make them like the hairdresser. Let's give them this nice little role here, positive values. But this one really showed the good side, the ugly side, the noble side of the people. What are your comments on that?
Well, first of all, thank you, because part of the effort here was to create a multidimensional play, and a play that that actually perceived that we're all in this together, that, you know, no matter how you identify yourself, whether you identify yourself racially or religiously or sexually, whatever it might be, that there's a certain amount of fear of the other that comes in the human package. So for me, the excitement here was to be able to take their feelings of being demeaned and bigoted or prejudiced against by other people as a gay couple, and to realize that they had their own bigotries and prejudices against other people, whether it was evangelicals or people who live in the suburbs, etc., and that they had to confront that. So it was a thrill, and it has been a thrill, to explore their realization that everyone carries that kind of hatred and fear of the other, and to make it multidimensional as possible, to make it a real, relatable human story. Right. I hope that answered the question.
Actually, it did, yeah. Because again, I also, from what you just commented, I see how you actually had them involved with a Christian couple, an evangelical couple.
Yes.
And again, that's always been, this is a big stereotype that this is like this war, never, there's no cross between. But actually, that's not the case. They're actually, obviously, the support for gay marriage out there is more than half the population, and 80% of the population actually goes to church. So that means there's some people out there obviously has very supportive feelings towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are those who still are fearful or hateful. But an amazing experience happened to me last night. A woman came up to me and grabbed me by the arm, and she said, "I have to thank you because you explored this kind of prejudice on both sides, and you helped us see that everyone's human." And the fact that you took the gay men who had a stereotype about the evangelicals living next door, and you made them realize how important relating to those people was, and how important there is compassion can flow back and forth in both directions. And that was a thrill to me, that she actually thanked me for, because she said, when I first heard the references in the beginning of the play about evangelicals next door, I braced myself because I thought, oh boy, this is going to be a political tract against evangelicals. But in fact, they wind up in a close relationship and really understanding and empathizing with each other's position. It took an earthquake to do that, but in this respect, thank God for a natural disaster.
Also, you brushed over this a little bit, but again, also they actually were able to not only pray for the gay couple, but also help them get what they wanted. I mean, they wanted something, and they were willing to help out. And again, it didn't even seem like they were sacrificing. It didn't seem like they were doing anything. It was just something they just wanted to do. It was, it wasn't even that big of a deal. So again, even though it was a big deal, it didn't seem like a big deal.
I think it took me a long time in my life to come to the understanding that that humanity is humanity. It took me a long time to understand that it's important not to villainize anybody. And I had a running start with that, being a gay man myself. I had a running start in seeing and feeling, oppression or feeling prejudice, etc., that was lodged against me, and then to realize that there were ways to overcome that, there were ways to actually understand another point of view. But honestly, it did take me a very long time to come to some kind of peace with that, and to realize that people are people, and how important it is to really try and understand other people's point of view, even when they continue to hate. And that's a difficult. I mean, certainly gay people are not the only ones who are faced with these days. I mean, if you're a Black American these days, if you're any kind of minority or what's considered the other, a Muslim American, you have to face the fact that, there's going to be hate lodged against you. And how do you come to terms with that? Do you try and understand the other point of view? Do you try and understand what makes people different? Do you try and understand what makes people behave badly or act out of that repression? Hopefully so. I'm trying to make that clear in this play, and I hope it comes across.
One more thing I have to say is I really love the character development, too, because it's like, I was actually taking in this survey. I was applying for something, for some kind of a medical thing, and they had a list of sexuality as not only heterosexual and homosexual, but also things like questioning or transitional.
Right.
And then it basically, from this, you kind of know that it's not a simple thing. You basically, people have these emotional scars when they're younger. They're finding out themselves. There was a point even in the play where, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, where the one of the characters said, "I'm not gay." And then afterwards, when he started questioning himself, I was thinking about that. And I was thinking, what is gay? I mean, what existential question. What is this? What is sexuality? What is that? And that just opened my mind for a second there.
I think within the LGBT community, which has now added to the acronym Q, which means questioning, I think as long as that acronym keeps expanding, it's going to include everybody. So I think that's a fantastic evolutionary step, that we're starting to understand that everybody is part of this question of identity. Everybody is trying to understand not only their own DNA and their own tribe, but also trying to understand how other people are people, how they behave as people, how they deserve every bit of equality that everyone else has. So I think that, for me it's an exciting evolutionary step, and a confusing one for a lot of people. I mean, I know that there are certain people, older generation people, which I am now part of, that still don't quite understand it, that still, think, well, black is black, white is white, and you're either straight or you're gay. Well, guess what? We're in a new century, and we're looking at things in a completely new way, and I think we have to, because it's the only thing that's going to save us is to understand that e pluribus unum means out of the many one.
Okay, well, I enjoyed this play. It really opened my mind. I thought a lot about it. I thought it was very artistic and very brilliantly done. So thank you very much for being on the show.
It's a total pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Michael Rubenstone. I was born in Philly, born and raised. I studied at the University of Michigan, studied at British American Drama Academy in London, and worked as an actor in New York and now in Los Angeles. So been going pretty strong for about 10 years now. I played Jack McIntyre. Jack is a East Coast Jew who lost his father when he was a baby, and grew up with his mother, who was very controlling. And now he's found a way to lead a successful life. He's got a good job, and he's got a good partner, and makes this bold commitment to buy their house, the house that they intend to live with one another for the rest of their lives, which is a huge, huge step in their relationship. And when he does, sure enough, a lot of demons come out, because this was actually the house that he was living in for the first couple years of his life.
I loved your performance. I thought it was fantastic. It was it plumbed the depths of a human soul. It described political landscapes. It described social, cultural landscapes and all that. It was like, it's probably one of the best individual performances I've seen all year.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was. It's a real challenge. Tony Abatamarco and I sort of joke that he wrote the Gamlet, or the gay Hamlet, because it deals with a lot of those similar issues: the death of the father, and the sort of shadow of the mother, and finding your way as a gay man in this world. And this play definitely deals with, all right, now we have some freedoms that we didn't have maybe in the 80s, but there's still a lot of bigotry, and there's still a lot of people shooting glances your way for various reasons. And how do we deal with that? And yeah, it was a real emotional roller coaster. And I did a lot of digging, and I did a lot of research, and definitely just dove right into the role and embraced it. And I'm happy with how things have turned out.
Yeah. What I liked about it, well, first of all, it wasn't a hard role. It wasn't a complex role. It wasn't like you were being stoned or beaten or you were at war. You were just a normal, ordinary guy. But there was so much acting, so much depth you were plumbing through.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, yeah, you're absolutely right. All of the hurts and the pains and the struggles and the demons, they're hidden. They're hidden deep within Jack, and he hides it very well with his humor. He's very sharp, he's very smart, and he's got that East Coast sort of, dry wit that helps him in a lot of situations. And I think that's his best defense. So, he's very good at sort of talking his way out of situations. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, those demons and those struggles and those pains and those insecurities, they're all there. They're just bubbling right towards the surface. And it's just a matter of how he keeps them maintained. And he does a pretty good job, but at certain points, he can't help it. And it just comes out. It just explodes. And so that's been the real challenge, is like keeping, Jack likable. If he kept all his demons and fears, at the surface, no one would like this guy. He'd be a nightmare, and no one would embrace this character. But I think because he is very funny and he knows how to handle his issues, he becomes somebody that everybody can really love and relate to.
What can my viewers expect to see if they come here?
I think that people will see a very, very entertaining show, very funny. And it's, just because it deals with a gay couple does not mean that it's a gay play. This play is for absolutely everybody that is in a relationship, that has made any sort of commitment in their life, whether it's buying a house, getting married, or even just committing to another person. And I think it's really a play that people will enjoy. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's very funny. There's a lot of comedic elements, but it also deals with, finding out who we are and really coming to terms with who we are and being cool with that. This applies for everybody. I just got married earlier this year, and that was a commitment that I never thought I was going to be able to make. And it meant a lot, to make that make that to take that step. And that's kind of the step that I take in this play, in a way, is taking that bold leap, you know, of a 30-year mortgage with my lover and figuring it out. So I think people will love this play. It's a really, really solid play. We have an amazing cast, and it's been a real joy to work with everybody and explore this sort of first run and develop a new play. It's been really a great experience.
Well, I agree with you. People will love this play. Even people who don't love this play will love this play. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, everybody's got their demons, and everybody's been made fun of. You know, everybody's been felt small. You know, everybody's felt small at some point in this life. You know, now the African American community has dealt with it for so many years. The Jewish community has dealt with it for centuries. And certainly the gay and lesbian, the LGBT, have dealt with a certain type of discrimination for a very long time, and it's something that is indelible. You know, it's just something that is there, but everybody's been bullied, everybody's been picked on, everybody's been made to feel like crap at some point in their lives. You know, and it's so anybody that has been in that position at some point can relate to this play. You know, there's no doubt about it, but you know, we can have fun, and we can have fun with our struggles and work through them, and hopefully come to a good result.
Okay. Once again, fantastic performance. Fantastic. It's like Hamlet. Basically, level fantastic.
Yeah, with a teddy bear.
That's right.
Skull.
Right. Well, thank you once again for being on the show. I'm really glad I came to see this.
I'm so glad you came too. It was a pleasure seeing you again. And spread the word, please. Forever House at the Skylight.
All right. Thanks once again. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
James Liebman. I'm a New Yorker. I moved out to LA a short while ago, just a couple of years, and this is my first show here at Skylight. I've been an actor for about 5 or 6 years, and it's just been lovely.
Okay. And which character did you play?
I played Ben Evans in the play Forever House. Ben's just a really lovely and patient and really loving guy who will pull out all the stops to make the people around him happy.
So, question: this was such a dynamic play, and well, you were kind of a bit straight-laced. I would actually consider you the straight man and all that, per what was said in the play.
Yeah, right. As said in the play, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you tackle this role?
It's really just diving into the script and diving into the story itself, and knowing enough about what Tony's trying to get across that you just know. The great thing about this play is that so many of the themes here are universal. So you just have to know about life, and you have to be observant and care about people, which it happens to coincide with who Ben is. So you just open yourself up to the issues that everyone faces when they talk about commitment or moving in social circles that are new to them, or anything that involves making a future with somebody else. I mean, it's all out there. So that was mostly what I just paid attention to that, you know.
I liked your performance.
Thank you.
So, what do you think about this play?
Well, I think it's just really lovely, and it really just tells the story of people and what they go through, what people go through when they try to move on in a relationship into another level. And we carry a lot of baggage with us all our lives, and sometimes we don't know we have it with us. And I think the fascinating thing is that things like buying a house, having a baby, even getting married for some, make them suddenly say, oh my God, I'm carrying all this with me. And then the question becomes, what do you do with that baggage from then on? And I think that's the really fascinating question to me, because it makes or breaks relationships, lives, careers, everything, you know?
Okay. Yeah, well, I think you did a really great job. I really loved your performance tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you once again for being on the show.
Okay, great. Have a good one.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Elise Murto. Started out professionally in Chicago. I've worked in New York and Los Angeles, and most recently I've done a few productions over to Noise Within. I played 2 characters. In Act 1, I play Gloria, the nosy next-door neighbor, and in Act 2, I play Francine, evangelical. Gloria, who at first seems like a very friendly woman, turns out to be the one who is very narrow-minded and not happy that these gay men have moved into her neighborhood. And Francine, in the second act, she and Pete are evangelicals who live next door, and you think that they would be the narrow-minded ones, and they are the ones who are open and accepting of the boys.
You and I have met before. Actually,
Yes.
you're a Shakespearean actor. Is that true?
I am, yes. I have done several Shakespeare shows. I'm out at Kingsman Shakespeare Festival. I got my start in Chicago at Chicago Shakes and at the Goodman. But I believe you saw me in Figaro and Flea in Her Ear at A Noise Within.
So, question: Do you prefer Shakespeare, or do you prefer something like this? This is more edgy.
No, I like them all. People ask me a lot of that question a lot. I think there is a lot to delve into, whether it's a classical theater or a world premiere. They each have their challenges. This being a world premiere, no one else has done these characters yet, so we as a cast have to put our stamp on them and breathe life into these characters for the first time. Clearly, Shakespeare has been done for hundreds of years, so that challenge is how to make that unique when several hundred people have played these roles before. But I like them both.
Well, I liked your performance in this. In a sense, you played a very textured character. I wouldn't even say it as complicated character, a very textured character, and it was they're very key to the story also.
Yes, and that is a challenge to play two completely different women, not only in their personalities, but in their look. As you know, I start out the show as a brunette and end up as a blonde, and some people didn't even recognize me in Act One. But yeah, it was a challenge to make these women both very different, and they both have these sides of them that they reveal to the audience, which are surprising and illuminating.
If one of my viewers came to the show, what should they expect to see?
Oh, gosh. I think the nice thing is to not have any expectations when you come to this show. You're going to see several fully fleshed out characters. You know, they're not just two-dimensional. They're not just the gay guy, the evangelical, the Jewish mother. That makes it too easy. I think Tony has created these characters that happen to be gay but are going through these issues, or happen to be the nosy next-door neighbor but is going through this. And I think that's the joy of this show, is watching all of these, intelligent and troubled humans work through these interesting problems.
Okay. Well, once again, I really thought you did. I thought you did brilliantly. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the
It's
show.
nice to see you again, too.
Well, nice to see you again, also.
Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with.
I'm Dale Rowell. I play Evelyn, the mother in the play, and I've been in Los Angeles for 30 years. I've had a fortunately long career in show business, and I am on the board of directors at the Skylight Theater, so it's very special to me, and I'm very proud to be in this production. I play the mother of one of the boys, the lead man. I play his mother. She is she's from Brooklyn. She now lives in Florida. She is Jewish. She has been a single mother for most of her son's life. She's pretty overbearing. She, I think, has a wonderful sense of humor. She's very close to her son and very interested in his well-being and worries about him constantly, and likes to stick her nose into his business.
I loved your performance. you were such a brilliant character actor, playing like a Jewish mother. It was just great.
Thank you so much. I had a great time. And we had a smashing audience today, so thank you for being part of that.
Okay. Well, what do you think about this play?
Well, I've actually been involved in this play for about 5 years in various incarnations. When Tony Betamarco first wrote the first draft, I did a reading of it, and then over the years he would rewrite, and every so often we would have a reading of the play, and I never knew that I would ever actually do the role, because I didn't want to be, presume that. But fortunately, when the production got picked up to be done here, Tony asked me to do it, and I was very happy to say yes. So I've seen it change a lot, and I must say he has trimmed it and tightened it and toned it up, and it has a lot of heart. It's very funny, it's very touching, so it covers a lot of ground.
I remember the first time I saw All in the Family. Mm-hmm. First of all, some people just laughed at it because it was kind of comical. It was witty and all that. Other people thought this is stuff that people just don't talk about it. Other people thought it was just revolutionary in the way it addressed things. That's what I thought about this play.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I hope you told Tony that. I think the play is very inclusive. It opens up people's eyes, I think. It has an older character, which I play. It has a young gay couple who are buying their first house and are facing some discrimination about that. They're also interested in adopting a baby. So it covers a lot of ground. It's also a very modern play in that sense. And I think Tony is very well equipped to tell this story.
Well, once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Joel Sweetow. I went to acting school many, many years ago at ACT in San Francisco, spent 10 years in New York City, acting there on stage and in regional theaters around the country. Came out here in 1990 to do film and TV. I've been very fortunate in that regard, but I have the love of my acting life is stage work, and so I've continued to do that on a very regular basis. It's my first time working here at the Skylight. I'm very excited to be here. I played two characters. I played Bill Dimmelwick, the realtor, and Pete, the evangelical next-door neighbor. Well, Bill is a realtor who sells the house that the guys are living in, but clearly, is very conflicted in his own life and is a drunk and perhaps closet gay himself, so he comes around a lot to enjoy hanging out with the fellas. Pete, the evangelical next door, is living next door with his wife, a former dancer, and I think belies the stereotype that certain people have of evangelicals, because he's a genuinely good, loving guy who isn't attempting to force anybody else to do anything, and is quite tolerant, I guess, of the next door neighbors.
Yeah. I thought the entire play was filled with very deep characters, very textured.
That's great.
Very textured. I wouldn't say they're complicated. I'd say, if anything, I'd say they're ordinary people, but just very textured.
Yeah, thanks. I think that's a testament to the writing, first of all. I know you talked to our playwright, Tony Abadamarco, and I think this is a very important play for him. I think it's very close to his heart, and I think he put his soul into it. And so, we're out there saying his words. Liz Swain, our director, really helped us to explore those depths that you so kindly have suggested we have, and present company excluded. It's a great group of actors. They're really, really first-rate, talented actors who I think did everything they could to plumb those depths.
Yeah, actually, again, you mentioned that. I thought every actor here was really, really was very professional, very Shakespearean, very, very thespian.
Yeah.
It was basically, even the minor roles took a tremendous amount of character acting.
Yeah, I think it's a really first-rate cast, if I may say, top to bottom, and and a joy to work with and be around. We had a lot of fun during rehearsals, and we have a lot of fun during the performance. It's it's one of the main reasons that I do what I do is to have these kind of experiences.
Yeah. Well, I loved your performance.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Forever House will be playing at the Skylight Theater from January 15th to February 28th. For more information, go to www.skylighttheatercompany.com or freetheatertickets.tumblr.com.